Hello there. It's another beautiful Saturday morning and the last one in the month of June. The rains are here, so let's take care of our environment. Whatever we do, ensure that you keep safe. We thank God for everything. How's your weekend going with you? Anyway, it is well with us all. And we look forward to embarking on the journey of another month. I pray that none of us will be missing at the end of it. Let moderation, however, be our watchword. On this note, I welcome you to this edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. Here, we educate and motivate this generation on how to achieve greatness in life through the experiences shared with us by our guests. My name is Toyin Shogwe, so you call me TS. Kate Hodges once said, and I quote, "Behind every great woman, there is another great woman." And that's why I'm hosting another beautiful ebony lady in the house today. She is an achiever in every sense of that word. My guest is Nurse Olufunmilola Adekunle, an Assistant Director of Nursing, Federal Medical Center, FMC, Abeokuta, and the Unit Acting Chairman, National Association of Nurses and Midwives, NAM. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, TS.
You're welcome. So I'd like to know who Olufunmilola Adekunle is. What was growing up like for you? Who were your parents? Where were you born? And the schools you attended?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone out there. Adekunle Olufunmilola Moromubo. I'm a native of Oyo State in Oyo Town, born to the family of evangelist Ayo Ade Alagbe and late lady evangelist Abiola Ayo Alagbe. I had my primary school at Kobiti.
They say Baba Ayo Alagbe is your father?
Yes,
wow.
He is. I'm the first daughter, the second born.
Oh, okay. You have a man before you?
Yes, I have a man before me.
Okay.
So I attended All Saint Primary School, Kobiti, Abeokuta. So I had my secondary school education at Reverend Kuti Memorial Grammar School, Ishabo, Abeokuta. After which I proceeded to Sacred Heart School of Midwifery, Lantoro, for my midwifery training, and then to University College Hospital, Ibadan, for my general nursing training. And afterwards, I proceeded to Lautech for my first degree. Presently, I'm running my master's degree at National Open University here in Abeokuta.
Oh, that's interesting.
Thank you very much.
So let's look at what growing up really was like for you. Your father was not an evangelist from the word go.
That's right.
Okay. So what was growing up like for you in Oyo, in Abeokuta, with your siblings? How was it like?
Well, we didn't actually live in Oyo. Okay. I was born here.
Okay.
Of course, my brother was born at Oyo.
Okay.
But I was born here, and that is where my name was coined out.
Moromubo.
So I was born here.
Okay.
And myself and my siblings, we were living together. Of course, our parents are Christians, and we were brought up in a Christian way, you know, reading the Bible, having devotion together. And, you know, the family was one that people aspire to be like all other people around us.
Your father is a notable broadcaster. So I was expecting that maybe while he was on the job, the kind of love that you had, the kind of, you know, presence that he had with you as children. He was always there for you?
Yes, he was. In fact, more than my mom. Oh. We used to believe that my mom is very hard and very strict.
Wow.
But my dad, till date, very pleasant, loves children. And if there is anything, he's the one that will rescue us from mom. That used to rescue us from our mom. Oh. Because, you know, we were thinking it was like mommy was the bully type. And my dad, you know, very pleasant. He doesn't like mommy beating us. He doesn't like us being, you know, chastised by our mom. So very pleasant.
How many boys, how many girls were you?
3 boys and 4 girls.
7 from the same mom?
From the same mom. Actually, when we were 3,
okay,
it was after around 10 years that this pregnancy came. Oh, unexpectedly.
Love child.
Yes, and that is we had the last girl.
The last girl, baby of the house.
Yes.
Wow. You are a nurse, right? And you're still in Nigeria, you're still in Abeokuta. How come you've not jackpot like some others would have done or are doing?
Well, so many things surrounded it. First of all, the father of my children, was working outside Abeokuta. And I didn't want to leave my children.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity then, which I forsook for the sake of, then I had just my daughter alone. So I didn't want to leave her to my parents, even though I was counseled that my mom is going to look after her. But I declined. I said, no, the father is not here and I can't just leave for that. So that was why then. But lately, as they grow up, I have to monitor them. I have the chance to travel if I want to, even now.
Even now,
So I want them to have stabilized, leave them in a good satisfactory condition before I can take my leave.
But you're still contemplating that?
Not really anymore.
Okay, not anymore.
Not anymore. Just go there, if I can work for a while and come back. But I wouldn't want to really stay over there.
Okay. Let's look at the nursing profession. But before I go to the nursing profession, you said father of your children. What does that mean?
I am a single parent.
Oh, wow. Why?
Well,
it all happened. It happens.
It's
life happens.
Life happens.
What happened?
Life happens. Well, I want to believe because he was living outside, Abeokuta. He was working away, Then he wasn't within and things were happening. Of course, things has been happening along, and I noticed and I kept on, encouraging him. And I do travel almost every weekend. In fact, my senior colleagues that are my senior then, why should you be traveling almost, you're off duty, you are over there? Because I don't believe in family breaking up. Okay. From where I come from, the father and the mother, they are together. And that's the way I picture it. I never believe, when I see people with broken homes, I used to ask, what is the cause? Until it happened to me.
Oh. So how are you coping, being a single mother?
I've been enjoying it. Yes. Because it really...
Why would you say that? You've been enjoying it?
Yes.
You have your freedom?
Yes, that's number one.
What other things do you... Okay.
That's number one. I had my freedom. And there are so many things that I never thought I could achieve. Like before it happened, I never had my first degree. And that had already given me a setback. I'm supposed to be around, number one, number two in the department now. But just because I don't have my first degree, so it gave me about, some setback more than 10 years.
Wow.
Yes. And I loved it because my children are, they are doing fine. And that is what is giving me the push. So I enjoyed it. So many things I never thought I could achieve. Like being the NAM chairman, I never thought I could be that bold, to gather people together to make decisions. And then while I was in LAGTEC, I used to travel down with my car, with my colleagues. Travel, drive down to Ogbomosho, drive, So there's many things. And before, I don't have that confidence. So all those confidence, it has really, the struggle has brought out who really I am. It has made me to discover my strength.
Okay.
So, and that is why till date, I want to say that I really, because I don't have to take permission that, I want to go for this course, so still wait, or go at so time, I have every chance to decide on what I want.
Would you say there's something you are missing being a single mother?
Nothing.
How about the emotional support?
Well, I am somebody that love God so much.
Okay.
I love God so much, and anything that would tamper, against my relationship with God, I fight with every strength in me. And that has been my strength. In this struggle, it has made me to know that God can do some things that you never thought could happen. The house we were living before we left with nothing. And after about 4 or 5 years after we left, we were sleeping around with friends, You
and your children?
And my children.
Wow.
And after some time, within 4 months, God sent people to me. The one that, the roofing, tiles, everything. God was just sending it, like, that widow in the Bible. And even painting, everything. People were just coming from different angles to support me. And within 4 months, the house was completed. If somebody had told me it can happen that way, I wouldn't know. And when things are about to happen to my children, wherever they are, he reveals to me. I see it and I call. There was a time I was afraid of the institution in which my first son was. I was afraid of, cults guys. Okay. And he has this stature that, you feel he's going to join them. So that's why I pray for them every morning. He came in contact with one of them then, and the guy said, their leader told him that, we have entered before we know it's not something that is good. But as handsome as you are, please don't join. If you join, I'm going to make life miserable for you. So I want to believe it is God that, sent him to caution him.
Are you contemplating marriage again?
Yes, why not?
Wow.
Loneliness is not good.
Oh.
If I can get somebody that can take care of me, that I'm sure of, and God is giving me the going ahead, why not?
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. The program is Feminine Scope, and the station is OGBC on 90.5 FM. There is a lot of abusive marriage, or we have some marriages that are very abusive. And then ladies will say, because what would the world say? What would they say about me? I cannot leave my home. I cannot leave my husband. I cannot do this. What's your take?
With those of us that work in the health system, we have seen a lot. It's better to speak to somebody about it. Seek counseling. And despite all counseling that can be given, it's yours. Like during my own, he kept on saying, someday I will kill you and nobody will know. He kept on saying that. That's why I didn't want to leave. And I was like, what if it happens eventually? Where am I going to keep my children? Because they were my world. So I had to step aside, thinking that it will settle and I go back home. So I want to encourage women out there. If you just notice anything abusive in it can be verbal, it can be, physical, just speak with somebody. And even after the counseling, talk to yourself. What do you want? What if? Ask yourself so many questions. You are there. You know what you experience daily. So you feel, you should know what you want as a woman. But thinking that, what will people say? It happened to me and I felt like, especially with, my parents are evangelists.
Yes.
So my dad was even begging. There was a day my dad wanted to prostrate to me that, please, Fumi, you have to go. I said, Daddy, do you want to paste my obituary? Do you want me dead? And he said, no. I said, please. And likewise, the family, when they came to intervene, I told them, I know what he says. Have I ever misbehaved to any one of you before? You all know me, that I cannot joke with him. I traveled, we have been attacked on the way before, face to face with armed robbers shooting. And I've seen a lot while going after him, And when I judged everything together, I sat myself down and I said, no, I don't want to lose my life now. God, and who knows where I am today, I wouldn't have achieved all we have been talking about. So I want to encourage women, once you notice any kind of abuse, and you know that you cannot continue that way. Now I can say it. Before, I never had the confidence to say it out because I feel ashamed. Yeah, I used to feel ashamed. But now I can say it. I'm free to say it anywhere. And I'm happy.
Yes, and I appreciate, because a lot of women are learning from what you're saying. It's a lesson. Yes. Which is an experience that you are sharing with us that will motivate some other women now to, speak out. Yes. Not necessarily leave their marriages, but speak out if it can still be salvaged.
Exactly.
I appreciate that for bearing your mind to us. And now to your profession, which is the nursing profession. You are the unit acting chairman of NAM, National Association of Nurses and Midwives. We come to the hospitals, we see your nurses. I want to say your nurses because you are the acting chairman. And one wonders that the spirit behind that nursing profession is caring.
Yes.
But some nurses are better not spoken about. Their attitude, the way they attend to patients, the way they handle their patients. And you wonder, why? Nurses are beautiful. Are nurses no longer beautiful?
Yes, we are.
So what's the matter? What are you doing to change their attitude? Attitude not change to their patients.
Well, thank you very much for that question. That has been the complaint of majority in the society. You know, whoever you are, you have your personality before whatever profession you choose. And some of us, being women, being ladies, you know, we have a personality, you know, behind whatever we are doing. And like you asked, that what can we do? We have severally arranged. We know because of these complaints comes in, day out. And several times we have arranged for seminars on attitudinal change most of the time. And we encourage people to tell us, to give us feedback. We walk around and ask from our patients. And if they complain, like somebody like me, they know me. When I move around like that and I notice anything, or a patient relative make a statement, I go back, what happened? What is it? And I walk in there. Because it's unfortunate that in our society, majority don't make report of such. They only say it maybe after it has happened. But when you act immediately, when you make a report immediately, it helps us a lot. And you know, you don't have to come to work with whatever challenges you have back home. We encourage that too. We talk to ourselves too. But unfortunately, people being whom they are, you know, you tell them, some take it and some don't. So when we have people complaining like that and they have the boldness to, who is your boss here? But people don't do it. They see us like Teen God. Let me not talk, so that they won't stop this. And it's because people don't know their rights. If you know your rights, if anybody is misbehaving and you don't like it, speak up, speak out. In fact, by the time you are asking, I want to see your boss here, he or she is going to...
Will that help a patient? Somebody who has a patient, is that not too dangerous or risky for anybody to complain at that point?
It is not. It is not. We have seen people like that. You know, when you notice their utterances, it can lead to abuse. You know, we have had several nurses being beaten up. And when it happens like that, we call ourselves together and we say, did you see what happened? Even if the person is going to be punished, the deed is done already. So we of course, from time to time, we check ourselves.
So you said one should make report to who? How? How do you do that?
Okay, whichever unit, wherever you experience such, just try and move around. Who is their head here? Can I see any leader here? It might not be nursing leader as at that time. Even if it is the laboratory, ask of the leader, can I see so happen? Where can I make my report?
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
You know, people have to speak up. That is one of the ways in which some of us that are like that can be corrected.
You've spoken to women who may be experiencing certain hiccups as per their relationships. I want you to talk to this generation, the younger generation now, boys and girls. What will be your advice to them? We see some ladies who are already living. They are already married in quotes, to their boyfriends because they are living lovers. Yes, they're together even before solemnization or the traditional marriage. Would this not eventually affect the marriage or their relationship by the time they decide that, okay, it's now time to officially be married?
Well, my counsel for this generation is, first of all, to make God their anchor. Because where God is, there is peace. There's going to be peace. And God doesn't leave his children. He will direct you. And as a child of God, you don't have to live with a man before getting married. So it is wrong from the beginning. If any girl, you know, starts that before solemnization, it is wrong. And God is not there.
Involved.
God is not involved. And once God is not involved, anything can happen. Even the one that God is involved, the devil still, you know, attacks. So what can we say about the one that God is not even involved? So I want to involve them to have God in their lives, to make God their foundation, because through the Holy Spirit, you'll be directed, you'll be led. And once you are led, you cannot make mistakes. If I had made the mistake, God wouldn't have supported me in all my endeavors. Today I have 3 graduates. They are doing fine. They are doing very well. And it's because I have God's backing. It is the God factor that is there that helped me. So number one thing in life is to have God as your... Now, nothing can shake me any longer. Once I know that, you know, the Most High God is behind me. So they should have God as their Lord and Savior. And then they should endure. I know what I did in my home. I went all out to ensure that the home, you know, stay. But children of nowadays, girls of nowadays, even male, they are not patient enough. They don't even have endurance. They don't. So they need a lot of counseling if they really want to go into marriage. So I will encourage them to be, you know, patient, then pray before they go ahead.
How did your children take your break?
They love it. Because from onset, there are some things that fathers don't realize. Your relationship with your children matters, even if you are not around. The little time you are around, come around them. They don't have a relationship with him. It's like they don't even know him. Because whenever he, come then, in fact, my children will be asking me, who is he?
Wow.
When is he going? You can imagine such relationship. So the men out there should have time with their children. Talk together. They will be able to open up to you, tell them their challenges. So we are enjoying ourselves. We have a home group. Anybody can just post anything. We laugh over it, we communicate and we pray together on the phone.
How many men and how many ladies do you have?
My firstborn is a girl. And two others are boys.
To the glory of God.
To the glory of God.
We thank God. So you are ebony. Black
you,
is beautiful.
Thank you, ma.
How do you maintain this skin?
Well, it's God. It's God.
Let's look at the human factor.
I use any cream. I don't have a particular cream. Like this morning, I use shea butter.
Okay, Ori.
Ori. I use Ori. It doesn't even have any scent.
Okay.
I rarely use perf.
Okay.
I'm not a social type. So I don't...
You are not the social type, and you are acting chairman of NAM. When nurses love parties, what do you mean? So what type of music do you want? You don't attend parties.
I do. I do.
And you say you are not the social type.
Going all out, all this and
skincare.
Yes,
skincare. They call it skincare now.
I put on anything. I wear anything. I cream anything. I don't.
So what type of music do you enjoy listening to?
Foreign music, foreign Christian music.
Foreign Christian music. What will you want me to play for you?
CeCe Winans.
Oh, CeCe
I love
Winans.
you, God. I love you, Lord.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Thank you so much for finding time to be on this program
Thank
today.
you very much. It's my
Great
pleasure.
nurses, great Nigeria nurses, great.
And now we say hands that cares and document.
Hands that care and document. Beautiful.
Yes.
So nurses are still beautiful.
We are still beautiful.
I want to agree with you.
We are most beautiful angels on earth.
Okay. Oh, I hear you. Anyway, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Thank you so
very
much.
I appreciate it.
So that's it on today's edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. I thank my guest again, Nurse Olufumilola Adekunle, an Assistant Director of Nursing, Federal Medical Center, FMC Abeokuta, and the Unit Acting Chairman, National Association of Nurses and Midwives. Let me also thank my producer, Temilade Tijani, assisted by Fumilayo Akitoye. My studio manager is Adetokpe Adebong. And not forgetting Temitokpe Alagbe Ubeche for facilitating my guest today. My name is Toyin Shogbe, so as you call me. Do enjoy your weekend. Good morning.